We're going to smile right now. Is that on your resume?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Pagoda One. I'm George from the UK.
I'm John from America.
And I'm Joanne from Canada.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about resume, CV, and cover letter advice, job applications. Good tips, advice from us, and also some specific vocab that you can use when you're applying for some lovely jobs.
Hopefully they're lovely jobs. It's difficult though, even for like native speakers. You know how many times I've Googled when I was younger how to write a resume?
Yeah.
Resume writing.
Yeah, resume
101.
template.
Absolutely.
You guys take it all.
Inherently, it's really hard to know how to do
Yeah.
that.
So
But
that's why
here-
we're here, going to give you a couple tips on how to do the resume, each of us. So it's a lot of tips. Make sure to write them down. Or
Pause the video.
Or pause the video, study hard, look at our faces. We're going to smile right now. We're also going to give you some vocabulary.
Yes.
Some lovely words, some of our favorite words.
Precisely.
I picked words out of my own CV today. I looked at my CV and I said,
Oh, look at
this
you.
word's good, this word's good.
And
Yeah.
I.
George.
George. Best word.
If your name is George, this really works for you.
Joanne, take it away.
Okay, I guess for both resumes and for cover letters, I think one of the most significant tips that I've learned was using your strengths and mentioning your strengths and making sure it's the same vocabulary that they list in the job descriptions. For example, if they say like, we're looking for a candidate that has really good, I don't know, what's a good quality? Really
Teamwork.
good
Time management.
Okay, time management skills. Then yeah, you would want to say like, that's one of my biggest, strongest focuses.
And using the same words, right?
Yeah.
If you think about the job application as a question,
Yeah,
your application is the answer to that question.
exactly.
Right? It's like, we want this person. Are you this person?
Yeah.
And you're saying, yes, I am this person you want because.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say
That's
my
cool.
second tip when it comes to resume writing and cover letters is to quantify your achievements.
Oh,
When I
good
say
word.
quantify, I mean like adding like numbers, percentages, because that's what really attracts people to looking at your resume. For example, if you like increased revenue, perhaps adding like a number like significant to how much you increased it by is really important. I optimized this by 10% or something like that.
Why do you have to say it so sarcastically?
Yes, are you talking to this? I raised the revenue by
No, it was just.
You're like, it was really 20%. That's why I'm being sarcastic.
Those are my two tips.
Those are really good ones, absolutely. Mine are like related. Mine kind of focus more on details, like details. First one is when you are writing your CV, or you're making your resume, you're editing your resume. Because I think it's a good idea to edit your resume for a specific job. Not just having
Free
one
tip.
resume that you send to everyone.
Yeah.
Edit it slightly if the jobs are different. So, on that note, for each job you apply for, I would personally include just the most relevant things from your experience if you have a long list of stuff. Because I've seen CVs before that have like pages and pages of stuff that's not relevant because
Yeah,
it
there's
can't all
like
be
10
relevant.
jobs on there, and you're like,
Yeah.
what are your most relevant and recent jobs?
Exactly. And if it's like you've been out of high school for 10 years, but you're still listing this thing I did in high school, unless it's like directly
Yeah.
your industry or it started off your whole career, you don't need to include it. Or just like a really tiny note, you don't need to list all of the information about really old things or just irrelevant random things.
We should make the caveat, and I wonder if we're going to do this at the beginning of the video maybe, but the caveat of this is the resumes that we're used to in
Yeah,
fair
Western
point.
countries,
Yeah, of
Canada,
course,
UK, and for
Of course,
me
yeah.
in America. It could be different for English-speaking countries in different places. I know that English-speaking jobs that you are applying for in Korea tend to want more Korean-type resumes,
Yeah.
so you have to prepare for that.
That's true.
But for our countries, if you're looking to come to our countries, or also maybe even South Africa and Australia, these are some good tips for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just tips that we've used, right?
We all have a job in Korea.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, the tips that got us the job.
Yeah.
So, my other tip, based on that sort of detail thing, is when you're describing your past experiences, past job experience, work experience, education, whatever, and you're kind of describing it in English, you're giving a little sentence or bullet points about it. Grammar-wise, you should probably use past simple. Probably. Because your current job, you can use present tense, but past things you've done, it just is clearer. It's just direct and clear.
It's like, I did this.
Yeah,
This
like-
was that.
rather than saying in the present tense, because that's difficult to know, I think.
My two tips, I'm actually going to echo yours and talk about hers a little bit just as in agreement. I think researching the company, I think every company has a website these days. It's so easy to just Google their name, look at their website, look at the job description, but also look at their goals and their mission statement on their website. And there will be buzzwords, you know, we are future oriented, that type of thing. It's like, oh, they're looking for people who are also future oriented, people who also look to the future and what it could bring. So take those words and put them in your resume would also be good. That's kind of just a little add-on. The one that I will also talk about is examples. I see a lot of people when they're writing down their strengths, they just say, oh, I'm strong in this. I helped my company a lot. Well, how? You were talking with quantification, quantifying things. You want to give specific examples. You want to say, I helped my company like this, and here's an example of how I helped. My strengths are, you know, being meticulous, and here is an example of how I am meticulous. So I really think adding those specific examples in, not too long, but enough to give that the person that will hire you knows what type of person you are in a specific situation.
So I think in summary, kind of what I feel like we're all saying in different ways is really target what you're writing, like target at the specific job and give specific details and be consistent. If you're gonna present a skill, make sure that your application reflects that skill or that experience that you've had, and just be really focused, I think.
One thing I'll also put out there is avoid negative language at all costs. Sometimes you have to put a negative word in there. For example, instead of saying issues or problems, say opportunities for growth.
Or challenges.
Challenges, those type of things. Those are neutral or positive words that are going to look better on your resume rather than, you know, I had problems with my last job. No, I had growth opportunities. I had challenges at my last job, which I rose up where it was able to complete well or whatever. Got to be positive as much as possible. Ready for some wonderful vocab?
Yes.
So let's get into
I think we've said a few already.
I
have
think,
been very
there are so many words that we've just kind of like gone over. I think I mentioned mine a little bit earlier, and one of them is optimize. I think the word optimize is always a great word to use because it pretty much just says like you've improved something, you've made it better significantly in most cases. It's just one of those nice things that you can use. Like for example, I optimized the training manual for our company, or that I optimized the process of doing X, Y, and Z. Right?
Kind of complicated at first, now it's easy to understand better.
More efficient. I think another word that I really like to use is like mentor. Especially in like leadership positions, if you're trying to get like a senior position or like a leadership position, mentoring is a really, really good significant word, I think, because it kind of just shows like you're very amicable, which means like very friendly, but you're also able to give a lot of guidance to people. So I think mentoring is something that kind of encompasses both of those things.
Good leadership skill.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
As you know.
Is that on your resume? George, how about you? That was a long hesitation there.
Yes, I have two that I used in my CV. I was like, okay, these are words I use all the time. So one would be interpersonal, meaning social. So we know about social skills. We all have social. Well, some of us have social skills, and in a work context,
you kind of looked at my direction. Oh, some of us have social
Some of us
skills.
have social
if you felt that way, that's okay.
Yeah.
In a work context, we wouldn't really say social skills because social's like at the bar or with good friends. But interpersonal skills, it means the same thing. You're good at dealing with people, talking to people, listening, blah, blah, blah. So you just say you have good or strong interpersonal skills. My second one that I love to use just too much is dynamic. Dynamic can mean really anything you want. So dynamic, like on its own, that word, it means like changeable, things changing fast and being kind of evolving and developing quickly in an exciting kind of sense. It's an exciting word, I think, right? Dynamic.
Exciting, yeah.
Sounds kind of exciting.
Dynamic, yeah. Like,
I feel like you would yell that at the interviewer, like, I'm dynamic!
Can't you see? Yeah, we can. You can describe yourself as dynamic. I'm a dynamic person, I can adapt and change. Also, you can use it to describe a work environment or situations, especially if it was one that was maybe chaotic, maybe.
Yeah.
But you want to put a positive spin on it. This is what I do. I say I was able to cope with dynamic situations, which just meant that everything was like on fire and everyone was screaming and I wasn't trying to cope with it. But dynamic makes it sound good, exciting, positive.
I also have a couple, because there are some negative words out there, you know, stubborn, hard-headed. things that have this idea that you are going to get something done no matter what. But those are negative words. So to get a bit more of a positive spin for both talking about someone who was stubborn or talking about yourself who is going to be a very passionate person who does their job very hard, it would be the word tenacious or the word driven. I think both of those can have a similar feeling. I'm a tenacious person or I'm a driven person shows that passion, that, well, what we would say drive, or that energy that you'll do this thing no matter what, and you're very focused on that. So I do like that word, especially maybe describing an old boss who was too stubborn. I had a very tenacious boss who definitely gave me a lot of opportunities to grow in business and stuff, and grow in patience. Don't say
Grow in
that.
patience.
Yeah. I'm thinking of people particularly. You know who you are. I'm joking, by the way. I don't think any of my bosses were actually bad bosses at all. My other phrase that I really like to use also is a way of describing yourself when you are a person that likes to do like new things or innovation or trying to be a person with new ideas and maybe develop new ideas is ingenious or ingenuity. Ingenious is the adjective, ingenuity is going to be your noun. So you say, I'm a very ingenious person, or I have a lot of ingenuity. That shows that at work, you can develop new things and react to new situations in a positive way.
And that's a good one, because I think everyone knows the word genius. Genius being the person. I am a genius, right? We get it all the time. Like when I was teaching kids in Busan, all doing this all the time. And I was like, I don't understand the reference ever, but like they know the word genius. Like, teacher, I'm a genius. I'm like, okay.
You're like, oh, whatever.
The test score says something different, but okay. But if we want to use it like in an adjective form, ingenious. Or I have ingenuity, that's more appropriate. You wouldn't say genius on your CV. That would be like
Don't say that.
That's a bit
childish. A
bold.
little bit childish.
That's pretty goodly video.
It's a,
It's an
sorry,
adverb.
say that one more time.
Adverb. Okay.
Wiggly.
Wiggly worms? What's happening? That was apparently a discussion of CV-related vocabulary. So we hope you got some useful words from that.
If you have opportunity, kind of tell us some good adjectives that you have used in your resume or CV, either from your own language or from English. I think that'd be kind of fun to see how people describe themselves around the world.
Yes, give us your personal profile
Yeah.
description. I love
Your
that.
summary statement.
I mean, see if we agree or not. I
Should have
That's
said
true.
how much of your resume can be a lie.
I would say a good 50.
0%.
50%, 100%. Don't forget to like
Comment.
Subscribe.
and
Share, yeah. Click the bell. Like the video 3 times. Comment twice.
That's
Thank you very
confusing
much.
advice. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.